people are bleaching themselves, and doing all the crazy stuff, man, I am completely sick and tired of the idiocy that I see goes on. And the funny thing is, something I've always said to foreigners, is that whatever you do in the United States, in England, and in Europe, and all these, whatever you do, Americans more so, it actually reflects through the television and all these mediums, and people are actually soaked up.
You know what? And Dre, hold on 1 second, brother. Hold on 1 second. I have to repeat what you just said because it was breaking up a little. He said the power of African Americans in America dictates what the rest of black people in the world do. So if we bleaching our hair, if we're bleaching our skin, if we're living up to a Europeanized, a Negropean look, the rest of the world will do that too. Is that what you're saying, Dre?
That's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
So we got the power to start a revolution.
What I have to say. Go ahead, Dre. We listening. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at your antics on the screen as well. Yeah. What I want to say to most African Americans in general, is that you people have no idea the power you have and the influence you have on the rest of the so-called third world. Whatever you do is being copied and carbon copied and followed by many. And the worst thing is, when you show the negative, that is all people, that is all that's being shown on television. And I understand what the whole, the agenda is with the television and all these kind of BS, but we have to remember that people soak up all the negative, and it is difficult to actually teach someone, when they're learning all this negative nonsense. It's very, very, very negative, difficult to actually erase and reprogram them from what they've already been given on the television screen. Television is very powerful, and you African American people, you are very, very powerful as well, but people take in the negative instead of the positive.
So let me just say this, man.
Yeah.
I got to move on, man, but I so appreciate you taking the time to call us. What are you, 8 hours ahead of us?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Man, I appreciate you taking this time, man. Call in anytime.
It's just 8 at night.
You my dude, man. I appreciate you. He's been following the show for a while. He's been trying to get through.
Yeah,
thanks for calling, man.
You call at 3 in the morning. Shit, it's 8 at night. I pick up the phone all the time.
Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown. Let me thank the caller. You shut your mouth. Hey, listen to this record, my homeboy Chase Ski. Let's go.
I received a letter from a girl, and I'd like to share just a small part of it with you. Dear Lupita, it reads, I think you're really lucky to be this black, but yet this successful in Hollywood overnight. I was just about to buy Densha's Whitenicious cream to lighten my skin when you appeared on the world map and saved me. My heart bled a little when I read those words. I could never have guessed that my first job out of school would be so powerful in and of itself, and that it would propel me to be such an image of hope in the same way that the women of the color purple were to me. I remember a time when I too felt unbeautiful. I put on the TV and only saw pale skin. I got teased and taunted about my night-shaded skin. And my one prayer to God, the miracle worker, was that I would wake up lighter-skinned. The morning would come and I would be so excited about seeing my new skin.
Which doll is the black doll? And which one is the white doll?
That one.
Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? that doll pretty?
Because she's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me.
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
That doll. Can you show me the doll?
Damn.
Wow.
What the hell?
Are you guys peeping that?
Teaching my kids that ignorant shit.
That's just self-hate, man, and it's a cold situation. Again, we're back. The ZWMS morning show. We're having a tough topic. We try to make it fun. You know, we cracking jokes, but the reality of it is black people across the globe have low self-esteem and low self-worth.
Yes.
And we have to be honest about it. That's why I brought light-skinned Butafora up in here. That's why. That's why Brandy is up in here looking all mochaed out.
Brown.
Yes.
I'm just saying. We have to really address this issue, and the only way to turn our community around is to have this type of no-holds-barred kind of conversation. Why do some dark-skinned people prefer aligning themselves with their Caucasian heritage over their African heritage? How many times have you seen, I'm Indian,
And
I'm Cherokee, and Irish,
Yeah.
and Italian, and first off, those are nationalities, not ethnicities.
okay.
Let's get that correct.
Well,
Right?
okay. Well, I guess the best way to say it then, because people ask me about my hair.
You got the Rottweiler hair.
Yeah.
Waves.
I guess some black people, some Indian people, and some Irish people got to fucking. And that's where this comes from.
Hello.
Wow.
Same here.
Wow. Light-skinned dudes be like,
I done heard all the
baby
hair.
hair,
I done
don't
heard all the
care.
hair stuff. I done heard all the hair stories. But you know, to answer your question, you know, I'm just gonna throw it out there because I've been sitting on this. They keep asking the question. The problem is, I blame the church. I'm gonna start off with that. It's the
There
church
we
fault.
go.
Let's go on and get that out the way.
We got Reverend Paul here.
I blame the church. I'm gonna tell you why I blame the church. Because I feel like a lot of it is where we misindoctrinate our women and lead them in a direction that takes them away from where they're supposed to be at in the household. It's not about them looking at the Bible. It's about them looking at their man and stop teaching them all that independent woman stuff, because the independent woman stuff is what's destroying us in the first place. It ain't about me being misogynistic and thinking that a woman is lower than me, but the truth of the matter is, look at any nationality or any group of people that are successful, and you see that the woman understands her place in that household. You ain't never heard a white woman standing up talking crazy to her white counterpart. Why? Because she know better. She knows the hierarchy. Now,
Are you
I'm gonna give it, and I'm glad
And
they
here
saying
comes
that.
Brandy.
And I'm glad. So let me start it off by saying this. There's the first thing we got to do on top of that is understand that not any one person is all good or all evil. That is, we are composed equally of both good and evil. God ain't all the way good. He's evil and good at the same time.
Isaiah 45:7.
He allows the evil to exist.
I'm ready. I'm
as
sorry. I can't
evil.
listen to
Well, let
anymore.
Brandy. Let's let
I
Brandy.
can't listen
Let
to
Brandy.
anymore right now because there was something that you said that was so backwards and contradictory in what you just said. First of all, you went and said that it was the church's issue. We were talking about light skin.
It is the church's issue.
You said,
That is the
okay.
church's.
But then you went on to praise the white woman for being the perfect example of how a
Wrong
woman is
again.
supposed
I just
to
showed
do.
you one example. You want to take it? You can go to the Indian women.
No,
We can
no, what
actually
I'm
go to
saying
different
is
women
that
in
your-
Africa that still
your
understand that
example
hierarchy.
basically-
It's not about that. It's the
Hey,
African
guess what? We're
American.
not gonna talk over each other over
It's not
here.
going to change what I'm going to say.
Well, you finish what you're going to say,
Thank
Brandy.
you. Okay,
And
so
when you do that, turn your neck a little.
I will do. I'm going to turn my neck, roll my eyes,
I can't watch.
I'm going to do
I can
all
listen,
of the
but I
black
can't watch
things
that
make
shit.
us the abomination of womankind.
Oh,
okay?
Wow.
Okay.
So what's happening here is that you basically have just went in and said it's a problem with the church, but then you said you don't see white women talking down to their men. You just went through and said every other woman but the black woman is the prime example of what a woman should be, and maybe we should start. But what you said kind of sounds like it to me. And I think that maybe instead of putting the blame out there on everybody
It's not what you
else,
say, it's what they hear.
look at what you say. Look at yourself. I hear black men all the time right now talking about how every other woman is the ideal woman except for the black woman. I know Latina women that date black men, and yes, they curse, they yell, they talk smack. They're feisty too.
But Brandy, let's do this. Let's do this, Brandy. Brandy,
don't do
Brandy,
that.
hold on, everyone. Hold on.
I'm just
hold
saying,
on.
don't come in the game.
Hold on, Brandy. Your voice is needed. It's important. But let's get back on topic.
Light skin, dark skin. I don't know where.
My question to you.
Yes.
Have you been overlooked for roles because you weren't light or too dark, or because you're an actress here in Hollywood? Have you experienced colorism with regards to casting?
With your fun ass.
Go deeper.
You know, fortunately for me, I don't know that I've personally experienced. If it happened,
she's too dark.
If
Look at
it
her
happened,
underarms.
it happened under my radar. I think I kind of fall into a very kind of good category for black women in
brown enough.
Yeah, because
not light
you're brown
right
enough
there.
to be black.
Yes.
You
and
know
light
what I'm saying?
enough not
but
to be
light enough not to be scary, and
wow.
that is actually what I think my reality is here, because I think when I go out for auditions and things like that, sometimes they don't want the light skinned girl because she's too light. Especially if you're doing something like a commercial where you're selling a product, because they want to make sure it's not to offend the black people, so they have to put somebody out there that's brown enough.
Wow.
But also that is still, I'm not gonna, I got smaller lips, I have a smaller nose. It's a little bit vanilla, so it works.
Wow, Whitney.
For the system.
We've got Whitney in the building.
European feature.
We've got Whitney in the building. She's another co-host over on the Voice of Reason show. Whitney is light, bright, high yellow fineness.
That is me.
All I'm saying is, have you experienced...
Well, no, the casting thing, I've gone out and went to castings, whatnot, and it always asks, it doesn't say black, it says biracial. We want a biracial black person for this part.
Right. We want soft serve yogurt.
Exactly. We need the swirl in there, just like she said. Look at all the McDonald's commercials with the McRib is back commercials. Look at all those.